We're going to be talking about 2 common household expenses that you need to evaluate. Coming up.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to an all-new edition of the Sunday Night Sit-Down with America's #1 money couple. I'm Talaat.
And I'm Tai, and we're from hisandhermoney.com, where we're managing money, marriage, and everything in between.
The Sunday Night Sit-Down is being brought to you by MetLife Auto and Home.
New home? Next, you'll need homeowners insurance. MetLife Auto and Home has options that fit your needs. One site, one stop, done. And move on to making yourself at home.
So guys, there are a couple of common household expenses that we want to outline and go over with you guys, because in a lot of situations, it's time for you guys to evaluate both of these expenses. You know that His and Her Money is a financial education company, and we are always looking for ways to help you increase your financial literacy to help put you in the best position possible today financially and moving forward. We want you guys to build legacies of wealth as well. And so sometimes it's important to not only look forward, but just take a look at what's going on now.
Right.
And let's even take a look at the past to see if there are some areas that we can clean up to help us get to our ultimate financial goals. And that's going to be one of the goals of this episode. And as we outline these 2 common household expenses, within them, we're going to be talking about some common mistakes that people are making in each area and how we can clean some of that up.
Okay, guys, so now the first topic that we are going to be discussing, or expense, is that of your homeowner's insurance. That's right, homeowner's insurance policy, that is. So whether you own a home outright, or whether you still owe money on your home, maybe you have a loan with a financial institution, more than likely you should be having a homeowner's insurance policy. Everybody should actually have that, okay? But here are some common mistakes that you may be making. So the first common mistake that you may be making is not notifying your insurance company about any life update changes. For an example, maybe you guys purchased a new puppy, or maybe you adopted a new puppy. They're cute and all, but you also want to make sure that you have some type of coverage. And when it comes to your homeowner's insurance, there are some cases where if you do not notify your insurance company of the fact that you have a new dog, you guys can be liable if your dog was to actually injure someone or bite someone. So you want to make sure that you notify your insurance company of any life changes. So a change that we had to notify our insurance company about was when Mr. over here actually upgraded my wedding ring. So it's not mandatory that, that you purchase a rider on your homeowner's insurance policy if you want to cover, certain jewelry, but it was actually best in our situation. I want to make sure that we had some type of coverage in the event, let's say I lost my ring, or maybe a diamond fell out or whatnot, or someone stole it. I wanted to make sure that I had more than enough coverage on my ring, so therefore I will be able to replace it. So that can be a common mistake that you may be making. The second common mistake that some may be making when it comes to the homeowner's insurance policy is being underinsured. Some mistakes that people make is they underinsure their policies, so therefore they don't have enough coverage in the event that maybe they need to rebuild, okay? So you want to make sure that you have enough insurance on your home. The third common mistake that you may be making is you may be purchasing your homeowner's insurance policy based off of price. Guys, you should not base anything off of just price alone. You want to make sure that you have enough coverage. Look into the company. Make sure that it's a company that you feel comfortable with. Make sure that you have certain coverages on certain things. Make sure that this policy is going to fit most of your needs, if not all of your needs, as well as you can try to fit that budget, or fit that price in it, but don't base your policy based on price alone.
That's right. Now, we know that everybody is not a homeowner, and that brings us to the second expense that we encourage you guys to evaluate, and that's renter's insurance. Now, like my wife said, most people, if they have a home, they should have homeowners insurance. In fact, research says that 94% of homeowners do have homeowners insurance. But that same survey says that only 37% of renters have renters insurance. But the truth of the matter is, for renters insurance is a good idea. Here's why: because your landlord's policy covers the structure of the building. It does not cover your personal belongings. And that's why it's a good idea for all renters. I mean, apartment renters, someone who's renting a home, someone's renting a townhome, whatever you're renting, it's a good idea to have a renter's insurance policy. But for those who even have the renter's insurance policy, we've noticed that there are some common mistakes that are being made in this area, and we want you guys to clean that up or avoid making these mistakes at all. One of the first common mistakes that people make in regards to their renter's insurance is that they think that renter's insurance is only for people who have quote unquote valuable items. And so you may look at your stuff and be like, well, that's no big deal. But the truth of the matter is your stuff adds up. If you were to take an inventory and take a good hard look at the things that you have, whether that's clothing, whether that's kitchenware, those things add up. Your furniture, those things have a cost assigned to it, okay? So it's important to consider your personal items, because if something like a fire was to sweep through your home, your landlord's policy does not replace your personal items. And if you didn't have renter's insurance, now you're replacing all these items out of pocket. And you would soon find that, yeah, my stuff was valuable. So don't make the mistake of thinking that I don't need a renter's insurance policy because I don't have that much stuff. The truth of the matter is your stuff has a value assessed to it. And if something catastrophic was to happen, you don't want to have to come out of your pocket massive amounts of money to try and get back on your feet. And not only that, but your renter's insurance covers personal liability. So it's not only about your possessions, but it also covers medical and legal expenses if someone was to get hurt in your property. You have to think about all these things, and that's why it's important to consider getting some renter's insurance. The second common mistake that people make in regards to renter's insurance is they don't get enough renter's insurance. A common average is like $20,000 to $25,000 policy that the research is saying that people have. And in a lot of cases, that's just not going to do the trick. Just think about it. Think about appliances alone can run you $10,000. Then you want to add in all your personal stuff. Then you want to add in your furniture. Then where are you going to live if something was to happen to where you were displaced, like a fire or anything like that? You need to live somewhere else in the meantime while your place is being restored, if that's possible. And renter's insurance, guess what? It covers that as well. But you have to factor that in when you're figuring out the limits of your policy and how much coverage you want to get. A good idea, something to consider, is not just calculating how much your stuff is quote unquote worth, but consider how much it will cost for you to replace your items. Because a lot of times we assess the value to an item based on what we paid for, and we might have paid that amount a couple of years ago. But what would it cost to replace it today? You need to consider that, because if something was to happen, you're going to pay replacement costs to go out and replace your stuff. The third common mistake that people make when it comes to renter's insurance is they don't consider getting a rider for expensive items. Listen guys, if you have a renter's insurance policy, chances are that each category of things that can be covered has a cap. So if you have like this fancy dancy computer, there's going to be a cap. And if your computer equipment and all the accessories that go with it exceeds that cap, you have to pay the difference out of pocket. Things like a ring, like my wife mentioned earlier, things like that. If it overgoes the cap, you're paying the difference. So a way to kind of curtail some of that is to get specific riders for specific expensive items that will cover the full cost of those items. Again, lessening the load and the blow to your wallet in case of a situation where you have to get these items replaced.
Now guys, I want to just also give some general tips or information. When you have insurance policies in place, it is a good idea to make sure that you review them. If you don't review them semi-annually, at least once a year, sit down, go over your coverage, ask questions, highlight, scratch off, see, make sure that you have enough coverage. Do you need to make some changes? Were there any life update changes? Do you need to add any riders? It's a good idea, guys, that you just don't get in the habit of just constantly paying your insurance policies on time without ever looking at them. Look at them, reevaluate them, because you know what? Things change, your life changes, and I can't tell you, how many times we've had to actually look over our information. We're like, oh, wait a minute, we didn't think of this. Maybe we should, call our insurance company and add this on. So it's a good idea to make sure that you are staying up to date at all times.
Now you guys know that we're not just gonna give you a bunch of information without giving you some resources to help you along the way.
Now keep in mind, guys, we are not insurance agents, nor are we licensed to be able to sell you insurance or recommend a particular insurance product. However, the company that sponsored this video, MetLife Auto and Home, they have a ton of information over on their website that you can explore. You can be able to find out the do's and don'ts, find out different coverages, different deductibles that you may have to pay. There's so many different things that you can find out over on their website to find some information or find some insurance that can fit your budget needs.
So if you guys want more information, go to hisandhermoney.com/MetLife Auto and Home and check out MetLife Home and Auto Insurance today.
And the links will also be in the description box as well as in the show notes. Well, guys, if you all enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share this video. Sharing is caring. It's so important. So many people may be walking around without insurance or being underinsured or making some of these common mistakes, and you want to be a good friend and help them, okay? So make sure that you guys share this information. So don't forget, meet us back here next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where you will see the both of us sharing with you.
Well, that's all we got for this week, guys. It's been great. Until next time, peace.
Bye, y'all.